Hello everyone, welcome back to IELTS Master. This is video number 25 and we will continue to discover speaking. Today we will talk about describing jobs. In the previous videos from 21 to 24, we had a little discussion about part 1 in the IELTS speaking test, part 2 where you had to describe a past event and describing a person, and part 3 where you had to learn to express your own point of view. Today we're going to talk about describing a job. Right, how is this going to be different? Together we're going to find out. Now in terms of contents, describing jobs firstly, and then secondly we'll talk about how to mention the advantages and the disadvantages of something. Is that clear? We have two contents to cover in this video. We're going to start with the first content, describing jobs. So for example, I have some questions right here. We'll take a look at each of them. First, is it a good idea to take a gap year after university and before starting a job? What do you think? Is it a good idea to do so? You just don't start work immediately. You spend a whole year traveling around? Well, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really beneficial because it prepares you for the whole life ahead. You spent 4 years in college already. It's time to experience the world. So we should go somewhere. Taking a gap year is the perfect choice. Well, I think so. Second, when people are studying at university, is it better for them to live at home or to move away from their families? What do you think? Well, in my point of view, it's gonna be better for them to move away from their families because as they enter university, they have to be standing on their own feet. They cannot be depending on their parents anymore. They have to fend for themselves. They have to be independent. So moving away is the first step to the road to independence. Alright? They have to go to work to make their own money, they gotta cook their own food, they gotta wash their own clothes, clean their own room, and do everything by themselves. This is gonna train them to be highly independent people in the future. Well, this is what I believe. Number 3, which is more important than in a job? Money or job satisfaction? What do you think? Now, I go to work, I think job satisfaction is more money. Job satisfaction is more important. Because suppose that I make a lot of money but I don't feel happy, then in the end, what's the point? I need to feel happy in my job first. And right now I am a teacher, I am totally satisfied with this profession. It's not too demanding, it's not too easy, it's not too competitive. The salary is not really too high, but overall, it's good. I have a lot of time to take care of my family, that's the point. Fourth, which are more useful in helping people to relax? Mental activities or physical activities? What do you think? So here, you are making a choice, right? I think mental activities are better at helping people to relax. Like reading a book or listening to music, mental, or thinking about life or talking to another person rather than physical like running around, jogging and doing exercise. I don't think so. So these questions appear to be very simple. However, the point is sometimes you're gonna have to make a choice based on the advantages and disadvantages. And describing a job is only part of what we are talking about. Alright? So the important thing here is to talk about the advantages and disadvantages in order to make a good choice, to give your opinion better support. I'm going back to the question. For example, I say, is it a good idea to take a gap year after university? If I say, okay, it's good. Why? What are the advantages of taking a gap year? What are some disadvantages? And we see the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. And so I have very good support to believe that taking a gap year will be very beneficial to students in general. Now, going back to this slide, we have a lot of phrases for you to use while we're talking about the advantages and the disadvantages. Now first, we're going to start with the advantages. We can talk about the plus. One definite plus is that. So when students take a gap year, one definite plus is that they get to travel around the world. The great advantage is they gain more experience, which prepares themselves for the life ahead of them. Disadvantages. One problem is that they may lose the opportunity to work in a nice place. Another big disadvantage is they may, when they travel, they may have some problems during the trip, and this may be problematic. Or you can talk about the minus. We have plus, now we have minus. A big minus is the amount of money that they will have to spend. Some of them cannot make money along the way, so it's just going to be a waste of time. Finally, balancing. This is where you take your opinion. Weighing everything up, I can see that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. On balance, the advantages are more than the disadvantages. Taking everything into account, it is more advantageous to take a gap year after college and before starting a job. That's it. Language is very useful as you are trying to express your ideas when you're talking about the advantages and disadvantages of something. Now, this is going to be your homework. Over to you. Here you're going to be describing a job, right? Which is more important in the job? Money or job satisfaction? What is your job? Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Are you a doctor? Are you an assistant? Are you an engineer? Are you an architect? Are you blah blah blah? So in your job, you're going to describe it somehow, and then you will describe the advantages and disadvantages of these two notions, which is money and job satisfaction. So what's the advantages of having a lot of money? And what's the advantages of having job satisfaction in the work that you do? Overall, on balance, you will have your answer. You will know which one is better to you. Okay, that's it. And I think that's enough for this video. We have been discussing a lot about describing jobs and talking about the advantages and disadvantages of a job of a certain problem. That's the point. So I want you to review the video and learn the phrases that I introduced, do the homework and do the exercises that follow. Thank you very much. I'm gonna see you in the next video, number 26. We will continue to talk about the speaking skill, and we will discover more ways for you to make your speaking skill better, enhance it over and over until it becomes really perfect.